Welcome to Operation Outreach, a new program to highlight the services available to military veterans right here in Central Florida. I'm Fred Robinson, Chair of the Orange County Mayor's Veterans Advisory Council. Tens of thousands of local veterans rely on the Orlando VA healthcare system, and joining me today with more on the services it offers is Deputy Director Tracy Skala. Tracy, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much, Fred.
Tracy, being that we have two CLCs in Central Florida, the Lake Nona CLC is federal, and the Lake Baldwin is a state CLC. Can you tell me the difference between the two?
Certainly, it'd be my pleasure, and thank you for having us here today. I'm delighted to have the chance to talk about our veterans and what we can take and do for them and what services we do provide. Currently, we do have a community living center, or CLC as you referenced to, at the Lake Nona campus, and we have 120 beds at that location to provide services to our veterans in multiple levels of care. We also have at the Lake Baldwin location is the Florida State Veterans Home as well, and I believe that they have a little over 100 beds there available. Currently, we do not house our veterans at that location. They're going through their VA recognition survey process, and hope to have that completed soon so that we can start housing some of our veterans at that location as well. But that property is owned by the state of Florida. It just resides on our campus up at Lake Baldwin in the Winter Park location.
And what is the difference as far as the criteria to get into the CLC, as I would say, at Lake Nona versus Baldwin, state versus federal long-term care facility?
Certainly. There is a percentage of disability rating between 70 to 100%, which is required for admission to our CLC at the Lake Nona campus. With the state, they have a broader, more liberal range for being able to qualify for services to be admitted to the state veterans home. We also have another state veterans home, which is attached to the Orlando VA healthcare system, which is up at the Daytona Beach area. So that location again has a little over 100 beds, and they do have the VA recognition survey done, so we're able to take and house some of our veteran population there.
Right, and the most recent is actually the Lake Baldwin facility, I think, that opened up about a year and a half ago or so?
Yes, they did become an active facility about a year ago, and so we currently are working with them so that we can take and start admissions.
And due to the amount of World War II and Korean War veterans that we're losing, and now it's more of the Vietnam veterans, in which we're actually losing 390 a day. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, the VA might have some challenges with accommodating these particular veterans in the facilities that you have. Do you have any community partners that you contract with?
Definitely. We have currently about a dozen facilities that we do contract with for community nursing homes, and we're currently working on 2 to 3 additional locations so that we can take and provide those services to those that we can't house either through our CLC or through the state veterans home.
And would that same criteria apply to those community partners as far as admissions?
I believe that some of that would apply, but there may be a little bit more opportunity to be able to house in a community nursing home versus at the CLC.
Right, understood. Mm-hmm. And what resources are provided for caregivers through the VA?
Mm-hmm. We have a very extensive caregiver program. Through our social work program services, we take care of our caregivers. They receive compensation. They receive support services themselves. If they need a break, we have programs where others can take and go in and sit with the veteran and allow that caregiver an opportunity for some respite, to take and be able to leave, take care of themselves, generally checking in on those caregivers to make sure that they have every resource that they need. So our social work program is heavily engaged with our caregivers.
It's very important, that particular respite. coming from the background that I have in hospice is very, very needed, because a lot of times the caregivers don't take care of themselves, and we end up having challenges with their health as well.
Definitely.
But with that being said, does the VA provide any in-home care for a patient that wants to stay in the residence, as far as in-home care to help them out?
Definitely. We have multiple programs that are available that can be used if our veteran wishes to remain at home, whether it be for hospice care or if it's for just assisting with their daily living needs and providing nursing services as well as additional social work services to them.
And do you know roughly maybe how frequently they can come out a week to assist that particular family?
It will vary. It just
Okay.
depends upon the needs of the veteran.
Okay. And can you tell me, I know what it is, the domiciliary, but can you just, like, how should I say, entertain our audience with what the domiciliary is?
Okay, definitely. So our domiciliary program is a residential rehabilitation program for a lot of our veterans that may be struggling with, addictions issues or other issues that they need specific types of rehab for. So we currently have 2 locations for the Orlando Health System. One, again, is at the Lake Baldwin location, and that one has 56 residential beds. And then at the Lake Nona location, we have 60 beds. And there's a number of programs, intensive outpatient group therapy programs. There's, aftercare once they have left the domiciliary. The intent is to help these veterans to return to the community, to be integrated, to be ready to be successful. And so we continue those programs even after they have left to ensure that they maintain the level of care that they need so that they are successful in reintegration.
And usually how long is that program for the domiciliary?
It can vary.
Okay.
It depends on the needs of the veteran at the time. So it will just vary on the type of program and the rehabilitation needs.
Well, I'm familiar with a lot of things that the VA does, and I applaud what you're doing at the domiciliary for our veterans to help those that need the help, that want to come in and get their life back on track. And I'm really happy at what you do at the CLC. I really enjoyed many times coming there and doing different events with the residents there. I will never forget it. And can you tell me one of the most meaningful things that you do that's important to you and your purpose of being with the VA and the deputy director?
Being with the VA for me is like being at home. As a veteran, I am a retired Navy Medical Service Corps officer, spent 20 years on active duty, and coming into the VA and working with the VA, for me, just having the opportunity every single day to serve my fellow veterans is the biggest reason that I am there. And I get the most joy and satisfaction in seeing that our veterans receiving the best care that they possibly can through our health system, and knowing that we have our community partners with us, and that Orange County, that Orlando, that we have a lot of great partners that help us to help our veterans to ensure that they get the best care possible, that they have opportunities to take care of their homeless needs, if they need to have, additional rehabilitation services, that we also have that available to use within our community partner programs.
Tracy, I want to thank you for coming here today and let us interview you and inform us all the different services that the VA provides for our veterans. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Fred. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about our veterans services that we can provide, and look forward to those continued community partnerships that help us provide those services. So thank you.
It's great to know our community of veterans has a wonderful resource of the VA healthcare system to maintain and improve their health. For years, the trend in the healthcare has been towards personalized patient-driven care. Coming up next, hear about the VA's new whole health approach.